How's it going, guys? It's Billy here, and in today's video, we're going to be doing a full review of the Pokemon Go Plus accessory. Now, in case you guys missed it, I did an initial little first impressions and unboxing video, so if you guys want to check out the card above over here, and I'll also be leaving a link in the description below, so you can kind of get up to date on what it is, but I'll kind of go over briefly in this video too. So let's get this out of the way first. What does it do? It's a low-powered Bluetooth device that connects to your Android or iPhone running Pokemon Go. It allows you to interact with the game without having to pull out your phone. So when there's a Pokestop, all you have to do is press the button to access it. And if you encounter a wild Pokemon, all you have to do is press the button to throw a Pokeball at it. Albeit it appears to have like a 50% chance of actually getting it. I'll leave the stats in the description below if you guys want to check it out fully, because some people have kind of done the math for it. Personally, I just noticed it was probably about 50-50. I would press the button to go and capture it, and yeah, half the time it would capture it, half the time it wouldn't. Apparently there's actually some math behind it that has to do with the CP of the Pokemon, etc., and your own level, I think. Either way though, someone else did the math, someone else tried this out, so be sure to check it out in the description below. So let's start off first with what I actually liked about the device. So at least in my case, it allowed me to save some battery while using the device. So you don't have to actually whip out your phone every time it vibrates in order to hit up a Pokemon stop or to try to capture a Pokemon. So with the press of a button, either it being on your wrist, maybe it's in your pocket, the Pokemon Go Plus accessory does the work for you. For me, that allowed me to save some battery on my phone, as I wasn't always obsessively checking it every time it would vibrate. I would just press the button instead, and that allowed me to be more discreet and to actually pay more attention to the world around me instead of always just looking down at my phone. Now, this particular one is kind of anecdotal since it could have been fixed in a patch, but I found that it actually better accurately measured distance when it came to either the buddy candies and eggs. Overall, it seemed to keep better check of the amount of walking that I actually did. Before, I was noticing that it felt like the distance that it was recording wasn't really accurately being measured, but as I mentioned, this could just only be due to a patch and not necessarily the device itself. Now, here are some of the things I don't like about it. So it's battery operated, meaning that you need to physically replace the battery every time that it dies. Now, that's not a huge deal, but it's 2016 and I'm just kind of used to plugging stuff in at the end of the day, waiting for it to recharge rather than replacing the battery entirely. Granted, it won't be too expensive since you can just pick them up at the local dollar store, but it's just a minor gripe of mine. Apparently, the battery is also rated for at least 100 hours of usage in total. That means if it was going off for 100 hours in total, that's what it would be doing. So some people have apparently reported at least grabbing the launch version, using it pretty excessively, and only now about replacing the battery. So it's been about 3-4 weeks of like extensive usage. So depending on how much your usage could be, it could last a lot longer than some people's. Now, this one is such a minor thing, and honestly, it's really subjective, but I'd have to say the design. Personally, I don't really dig that teardrop design of it, unless one of the Pokemon's homies got killed and, you know, he just has this tattoo on his face now. But perhaps it's that way in order to fit the vibration motor in it and all of the doodads in there, you know, in order to make it like a low-powered Bluetooth device. That's my only assumption for it. I just don't dig that teardrop design. It would have been better if it actually just looked like a fully physical Pokeball instead. Now, who is this device designed for? Now, I personally think that it's designed for people who want to basically just grind out the game. Just every time they're gonna hit up a stop, just press. Every time they want to capture a Pokemon, they don't really care what they get, they just need to get something. And if there's a lot of Pidgeys and Rattatas, they're going to be using it just to capture those guys so they can evolve more with a lucky egg so they can keep leveling up. I also think that this device is actually great for casual people that don't really want to be pulling it out every time they're in public. Maybe they'll have it in their hand or discreetly in their pocket somewhere, or maybe even on their wrist, you know, every time they pass a Pokestop nearby or just catch a wild Pokemon. They don't really want to be whipping it out every single time. Maybe they're doing something else on their phone. They can just, you know, press, and then when they get to work or school or wherever their destination is, they can just check the device to see what they caught or what items they got instead. Now, here's my fully on honest opinion about what it means for gaming. Now, if you're coming from the grinding perspective, all you care about is just items, levels, and, you know, capturing Pokemon, and that's all you care about. It's just grinding it out and being the best, you know, trainer in the game and being the best person that you can be. But in my opinion, coming from a background of gaming where I've been gaming since I was like, oh goodness, really young. The first console we ever got was like a Super Nintendo right at launch. And honestly, gaming for me has always been about interactivity, about, you know, making the movements with your hands and what you see with your eyes, and taking in that information that's happening on screen and then translating it to a reaction with your body, like, you know, playing with the controller, whatever it is. If you want to make Mario jump to avoid an obstacle, whatever it might be. For me, gaming is about being interactive and being immersed in the story, if there's a story in that game, for example. And if it's a multiplayer game, it's about, you know, trying to be the best, have the best hand-eye coordination. Personally, this just turns the game into, I'm going to press a button and get a reward. That is what this device has turned essentially a game into. And I don't know what kind of ramifications that will have for future games. I don't want to be, you know, just a Doomsayer and just be like, oh no, all games are going to be coming. These just press the button and you win kind of effect. No, it's probably not. And honestly, that's what this device is mainly for. You can still play the game regularly, have the phone in your pocket. When it vibrates, hit up the stop manually or capture the Pokemon yourself. But this device is really made for the people that just want to grind it out, get the highest level possible, and that's it. But that is my main concern, is that it seems like it has devolved a video game into just press the button, get a reward. But I'm not a huge fan of that because, as I mentioned, I like interactivity, I like compelling story, I like hand-eye coordination tests, especially against other people in multiplayer. This is just a device that, yeah, turns the game into I press the button, I get a reward. Or maybe I press the button, I don't get a reward. This is essentially the video game equivalent of a slot machine. But if you're just grinding out Pokemon Go, this is all that matters. I would say pick up the device. It's worth it in my opinion if you just want to get levels up really, really fast. If you're just doing a run or a bike ride or a jog, whatever it is, you can just press, and see what you get at the end of it. My apologies for that rant, guys. I don't know, I'm just a big video game aficionado, and just to see something devolve into a point of press the button and you either win or lose, I'm just not a big fan of that. So that's just my opinion. But as I mentioned, if you want to play the game casually and you don't really care too much about what you capture or Pokestops, or you just want to grind the game out, this device would be perfect for you. Either way, guys, thank you very much for watching my full review of the Pokemon Go Plus accessory. Now, if you enjoyed this video, be sure to press that thumbs up button. But if you thought, hey, what the heck is this guy ranting about, and you just didn't like the video, be sure to press that thumbs down button instead. Anywho, thank you guys very much for watching today's video, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. See you later.